for life.
Good morning. Whoa, was that anybody got echo?
No.
Good morning. It's March 5th, 2026. It's Thursday. It's the Anti-Hero broadcast, the news entertainment broadcast for all first responders, veterans, and blue-collar Americans. This show is brought to you by Human Performance. Go to hp-trt.com. Use promo code HERO. Save 20%, not just on your initial purchase, but every single month. GLP-2s, peptides, Anavar, Deca, TRT. You need it. They got it. Go to hp-trt.com. Use promo code HERO. Save 20%. And GhostBed. Go to ghostbed.com/antihero. Save 10% on their already ridiculously low prices. Mattress, pillowcases, fucking cooling patented technology sheets, and of course their award-winning mattresses. What are you laughing about?
Nothing, dude.
I fucked that one up. 60,000 plus 5-star rating reviews, in-house customer service, and free shipping on those big ass mattresses. So if you got to return something like a giant mattress, what are you laughing about? I can't focus.
Go ahead, dude. Keep going. It's been a hell of a start to the day.
If you got to return anything, it's free. So if you got to replace anything in the bedrooms, go to ghostbed.com/antihero. Save 10% and it'll tell them that we sent you, and Elevated Silence. Go to elevatedsilence.com. Use promo code antihero15. Save 15% on your suppressor. Everything from 22s to 50 cals. Exercise your Second Amendment right. The process is not hard. Jim will walk you through it. Go to elevatedsilence.com. Use promo code antihero15. Save 15%.
And don't forget Patreon. Patreon is growing extremely fast. We've removed all free membership, and everybody in there is a paid member who gets exclusive content. We actually added a higher tier for anybody who wants to get the real deal information on what goes down in the Anti-Hero broadcast. We don't hide it. We don't suppress it. We give you the facts, to the point where I believe starting on next Tuesday, we're going to do an exclusive hour, just Patreon, to update everybody. Then we're going to hop over and do an hour live for everybody to see.
Yeah, it's so we can have an audio stream on Tuesdays, because we let it rip last Tuesday, and I'm like, we cannot put that audio up.
And we're going to keep letting it rip, but we want you guys to have that hour of exclusive one on two, 2-on-1, no Lewis to mute us, unmute us. You get everything behind the scenes in Patreon. That's not going to go up on any platform. If it gets screenshot and sent around, we don't care either. But that'll be just for you guys, and then we'll hop out, do the break, go an hour where everybody can interact, and that'll give everybody a little. And by condensing it down to the Patreon hour, we can it doesn't drag. We can give you everything quick. We can talk, interact, do all that stuff, and then
Mike just wants to get out of here.
No, what is he talking about? It's another hour. What are you talking
We can get it done quick. Don't have to talk too much. Just get it done.
Then go live for everybody. That's 2 hours.
Reverse. It's live for everybody.
Okay.
Then
all right, whatever it is.
This guy's trying to say it's his idea. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. But the major tier.
If it was his idea, it wouldn't happen. So just don't worry about it.
The major tier, the big tier that we just created on Patreon, don't feel obligated to go. It is really just for complete and utter transparency if anybody has any questions. And it's also, a place where where people are more invested in counterculture and anti-hero. It's where we're going to be kind of like getting to know people. And, we plan on expanding this as fast as we can. And, if anybody, if we're looking for jobs, that's the place where we're going to go. The people that we know.
If we're looking for jobs.
Well, if we're
hey guys,
looking
we're getting fired. We need a job, so
well,
we'll be reaching out to you guys.
No, those guys are blocked from Patreon that need jobs. So,
okay. Before we start the show, real quick, I'm going to bring this up. This is going to be the 1-year anniversary on the 7th of one of my best friends of all, Sergeant Paul Mewborn, who was a first sergeant in the 82nd Airborne, Ranger instructor. He passed away 1 year ago on March 7th. He was one of the realest dudes I've ever met. When Tyler talks about loyalty, this guy is in the top 2 or 3 of my entire life, helped me turn my life around when I was down. He was a absolute warrior. Like I said, there's not many Black Ranger instructors. This guy was everything there was to be about military. After 20 years of service to the United States Army, he did 20 years of service to the Emer County Sheriff's Office. So shout out to Paul upstairs. We appreciate you. Rangers lead the way, and I miss him every single day because I would love to run this drama by him that's going on. So shout out to Paul.
Yeah, speaking of which, I cut a reel about loyalty the other day, and apparently we'll just say some people so we don't have to make it singular, was upset about it. And it's funny because I didn't name anybody.
You did not.
I didn't name one person. So I feel like if you think that was about you.
Yeah, that's how my memes go. I get I make a meme that's generalized, and I get like 10 people that go, but I'm like, well, I wasn't about you. It was about a general meme. But why are you why did it bother you?
I thought you were gonna cook.
Yeah, loyalty. And Tyler gave his rant on it, and I have the same. I have the same thing. There are very few loyal people, and when loyalty is addressed or talked about, there's no leeway. It's either you're in or you're out. And going behind backs and talking to people and giving out personal business and talking about the inner workings of
Or
a
just
company,
lying.
we're lying, and it's not fair to the people who are loyal that would never do that, to have that happen to them, or to be put for other people who are loyal to us to be put in a position where they're told things or sent things that aren't true. And that's what Patreon was for, to set some things straight about the truth. We can do it here live. I don't care where we do it. I'm just telling you that loyalty is important. We don't go off that track.
I was gonna say Mike's on a leash right now, so he's just waiting to be breaking free.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem. I mean, I was a dick when I was younger. I was a cocky young cop. I knew I was decent at what I did, and I let it go to my head. And I've grown, and I've become much more mature. Anybody who messages me, talks to me, sees I will do anything for you. I'll call you. I'll help you out from anything from your personal life to what's going on at your job. But I am also very nasty. I play good defense. I don't like to go on the offense. But if you're going to attack our character, if you're going to attack what we've done, and say things like that aren't true, and I have no problem disclosing everything. I have no problem putting it all out there, because I know I've disclosed everything about my life. There's nothing you can Google that I haven't talked about. So if that's the game we're going to play, I play it very well. Don't want to, just want to move on, have a great show, have a great community. But if we have to, we have to. That's all I got to say about that.
And then, when you say I'm going to walk away quietly and you don't walk away quietly, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Because we're like, okay, let's just have a mutual, hey, we're not in each other's lives anymore. And when you are to the T less than 24 hours ago, not walking away quietly, you're forcing my hand, big dog. Big dog.
Yeah, everything's been recorded. Everything's been documented,
and we're gonna put something up in the Patreon, the big tier, today. So kind of like the last of it. I think that it's in the Patreon is for people that understand we're not shit talking, we're explaining. Me and Mike have a lot of explaining on how something went down. And
well,
so this
we learned
helps.
from the first one. We took the high road on the first one. And that guy shit on us, still did everything he said he wasn't going to do. And I felt like now if I go talk about it, we're like, oh, they're trying to get up behind. We'll go right out in front of everything. I'm never letting anybody dictate how we do things again for their feelings, especially when you're protecting them.
It's fucking entertainment, baby.
Yep.
Let's entertain.
Let's entertain.
So, I think the first thing we're going to talk about is any updates with Iran. So, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. CC came on. He's like our unofficial Iran correspondent. Obviously, he's not in Iran, so I guess technically you can't be an Iran correspondent if you're not in Iran. But he knows a lot about the issue, and he's got a lot of open source information he gets in real time. I don't know who his hookup is, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah, he's like that 3 a.m., dude. 3 a.m. There's a message, message, and dude, it's like, hey,
text us all night long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when he sleeps.
So I got something from one of our supporters that wanted to send information on why many GWAT service members want to see Iran get their ass kicked. Iran's #1 export is not oil, it's terrorism. Iran is responsible for over 1,000 American deaths, mostly service members, including wounded numbering in the several thousands. This is according to a consistent estimates from U.S. government sources. The White House, Pentagon, the DoD, think tanks, FDD, UANI, and JCFA, and other analysis. So a list of major events of American deaths attributed to Iran. Are you ready? This is broken down pretty easy.
Yep.
1983 U.S. embassy bombing, Beirut. Hezbollah, Iran directed 17 Americans killed. 1983 Beirut Marine barracks bombing. Hezbollah, Iran directed, 241 Americans killed. 1984 U.S. Embassy Annex bombing, Beirut, Hezbollah, Iran directed, 2 Americans killed. You're good, babe. You're going. 1996 Khobar Towers bombing, Saudi Arabia, Iran backed Saudi Hezbollah, 19 Americans killed. Iraq War, 2003 to 2011. Iranian-backed Shia militias and EFPs, ISTs, at least 603 Americans killed. October 7th, 2023, Hamas PIG massacre, Israel, Iran-backed, 47 Americans killed. Other Iranian-backed attacks, the 1980s through 2020s, dozens more Americans killed. Flight 847 hijacking, Kuwait Airway hijacking, CIA station chief was killed. And those are just like the miscellaneous ones that don't really fit in the major categories. That's why people do not really see America or Iran in a good light, is they've been killing Americans since we shifted them into Sharia law and let Muslims take over in 1979. Within 4 years, they were committing terrorist attacks, killing Americans. So
and say what you want about the president, but somebody did something. Yeah, you can. I'm not gonna go conspiracies. Why this? That I know all of them are out there. There's all of the stuff. But if you took all that out of it and read those numbers out loud, that should have been. We should have bombed them a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And then a couple years ago, they took our guys, put them at gunpoint, and fucking.
We know what it's
treat them like shit.
Idealism is ideal. Peace is best. There was a Mel Gibson quote in The Patriot. It's probably a fictional quote, but he says, you go back to the drawing board, you go back to the table over and over, anything you can do to prevent war, like anything. Now, that being said, that's when you start killing Americans, a lot of people, including myself, think, well, you just bypassed all of those negotiations. There's no more negotiations. But it feels like for 3 decades, we tried and tried and tried.
What did I just say? Sometimes the best defense is really good offense. Like, you've backed me up. I'm trying to play deep.
Best offense is defense.
Sometimes you're playing defense, but sometimes you can only play so much defense, so you have to go on offense to play more defense. Like, hey, I'm backing up. I'm trying, and like when an animal's backed into a corner, and then it goes, okay, bam, and then now get back.
And we can relate to this too. We are pretty much America, but when you let something go for so long and then you snap, everybody goes, "Whoa, chill, dude!
What are you doing?
Whoa, what are you doing, dude?" And so that being said, when you handle something as soon as it happens and you explain why you handled it that way, people can be upset, but there's no room for question. There's no room for why. There's no timeline. There's nothing. Why now? This whole why now.
I'm going back to Fetterman. Fetterman is my new gauge. Fetterman was the only Democrat to vote to continue the operation in what we're doing right now. He was the only Democrat. Republicans didn't vote for it. John Fetterman crossed over the aisle and said, keep doing it. I am starting. If I would have said that 2 years ago out loud, 3 years, I would have Baker acted myself for thinking I was going to go on the side of Fetterman. Fetterman has become about as middle of the world as you're going to get. Shook the president's hand at the State of the Union, caught hell from his whole party, and said, "Hey, bro, it's the president. I respect the position. I'm not going to not shake his hand." He looks at this and goes, "Yeah, bomb him. Like, that's what we need to do. My people in Pennsylvania need to be safe. That's what I'm thinking about. Take all the other bullshit out of it. Do it." He's the only Democrat that did it, and I'm starting to go, all right, I can get down like this very easy mindset. Like, it makes sense. They're a problem. Do it. None of this political garbage. And we want more Somalian money. We want this but we want that. We want this. We want to defund ICE. Is it safe for my people in Pennsylvania? Is it the best interest of my people in Pennsylvania that represent me, or I represent, to bomb Iran? And it is, then I'm voting for it. If it's not, I'm not voting for it. But I'm not going to take it out on a guy just because he's on the other side of the party and go, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he doesn't have any success, or I fight him. So I look at him and go, he voted for it. He's a Democrat. He made a very conscious decision based on common sense.
Logic.
Yeah, common sense. And sometimes it takes you can take all those degrees. I always argue that with police work too. Take all those fucking classes and degrees out of it and look at it and go, common fucking sense. This makes the most sense to do it this way. Don't need a book to tell me that. I know this is what seems like the right thing to do. So I think if he votes for it, I'm like, hey, common sense, man. He's not out here trying to sabotage anybody's party.
All right. We got CC.
We do have CC.
Conservative chocolate.
Yo.
And of course, we can't hear.
You can hear me now.
Now we can hear you.
You're not driving.
I got you.
Not
No.
driving.
I'm home.
All right. Talk to us. Give us the dirt.
All right. So currently, as we speak, they're smoking Bahrain and their oil depots. So Iran is launching ballistic missiles, going crazy this morning, as per usual. More news from last night, though. Israel did get smoked with a hypersonic missile. Tyler, if you want to go pull that up, because the missile is absolutely insane.
I thought I
can send it to you.
No, I got it. You sent it to us in Instagram, correct? Yep, I got it.
I'm pretty sure I did. Just make
All
sure real
right.
quick.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, right there. Bro. Bro.
Beautiful transition. So
Yeah, I had to put it there because the comments were going crazy. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll show you the actual news article where they're talking about them getting smoked.
I mean, I don't think there's anything on earth that can stop that thing, right? At the speed it's traveling.
Nah.
So does it come from? Okay,
I'll take that down.
yeah. Does well? I want to watch it again, Mike.
I don't think you do.
I
Do it again.
want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It's insane, bro.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question that everyone's thinking, and Mike's going to make fun of me. That obviously came from the sky, but does it come down and then level out and then hit the building? Because that didn't come like straight down. That like came.
No, I think
Kind of like that plane that hit the Pentagon.
Yeah, that's
kind
what
of like that plane that hit the Pentagon. It was very parallel to the ground.
no, I think I'm not a ballistic missile expert here, so nobody, go crazy in the comments. But I'm pretty sure they level out once they get closer to their target, because those missiles maneuver midair to not get detected by the Iron Dome, Goliath sling, and all the other cool things Israel has that somehow we don't. Weird.
Who paid for it?
I don't know. Some taxpayers. some goyim paid for that.
How many Americans died during that? The little hypersonic.
That's
thing?
in Israel.
That's in Israel.
Yeah, they
so none that I'm tracking. But most Israelis have dual citizenship, so there's that.
No, that doesn't count.
No, not really.
So, and then you were telling us about another plane got shot down.
Yeah. So this is a tin hat, but like very reliable resources one. But people are trying to sweep it under the rug right now. I'm assuming to not burn the connects. But there's heavy reporting that a F-15E Strike Eagle got down last night, and CSAR was able to pick them up and evac them within an hour, which is the real story here.
Who is CSAR?
So CSAR is the Combat Search and Rescue.
Oh, CSAR.
And they were shot down.
CSAR.
You're saying in Iran?
They were shot down over Iran, and the sources are saying that at least one of the sources attributed that to Iranian air defense. So they were getting down and dirty over enemy territory in Iran, wound up getting smoked out of the sky, ejected. They were taken over to, I think it was Saudi, if I'm not mistaken, the hospital over there, after CSAR picked them up. But that's the story right now. But a lot of accounts that know a lot of people are trying to backplay the story, but they're not saying it's not true either. So I'm assuming they just don't want to burn the context.
So, and I'm assuming that's an American bird, right? I mean,
yeah. It's the F-15 Strike.
Are you surprised that? Are you surprised at the success? I mean, even one seems very successful for Iran. Then we had the radar hit in Qatar. Are you surprised at the success Iran is having?
No, honestly speaking, the whole thing is like the same thing we talked about yesterday. It's all asymmetric. So we have to be perfect 100% of the time, which really isn't possible because no system on earth is designed to be 100% effective, and they just have to be effective once. So what they're doing is they're overwhelming the systems, sending 100 shots, and really just hoping one goes through.
Okay.
Yeah, Justin nailed it. He called it a total bottle rocket, but it reminds me of the Saturn missile things that go pew, pew, on 4th of July, little box. Right up. That is a fast-moving missile. So it travels that fast the whole time? I know you said you're not a
it's a hypersonic.
So it leaves station that fast.
Shoo!
Or does it get like dropped by another bigger bomb and then take off like?
No, from what I'm tracking, they're shooting those out of their underground tunnels. So since we're smoking them so good right now with their on-ground man pads and their missile trucks, they're actually opening up, and they already showed us this. So now we're just nuking those places too. But they have underground missile silos that they open up, shoo, and it closes. That's the visual.
That noise, the noises are on point, dude.
And you know what's funny is that not only do the Jewish people have underground tunnels, but also the Iranians have underground tunnels. Are we the only ones without underground tunnels?
No,
Actually, no, the deep state does have underground tunnels.
We have.
Well, the Christians have underground tunnels. I mean, look at all the old cathedrals.
No, I'm talking about the deep state, man.
I ain't talking about. I can't talk about those tunnels.
There goes. Get ready for the cameras to go down.
I'm not about to be found with a shotgun slug in my chest and somebody ruled a suicide.
So what is your like? What do you see? How do you feel the progress is going with what's going on? And do you see this continued attack? Do you see boots going on the ground? What are you hearing? What are you seeing as far as what's next?
Without burning my source, I can say that a lot of reserve units are not only forcing full battalion quals right now. I'm not going to say what branch, but it is multiple branches, and they're all doing 100% PHA, including dental. If you know, you know.
They're getting those random shots in their arms that no one knows what it is.
If you know, you know.
No 4-day passes. Huh?
No vacation.
No, but that's not even coming from active duty, boys. That's coming on the reserve side. So that's why for me it's a little spooky.
I never really was in during like something this like, hey, we're probably going to real war. So like I don't know. There was no gag orders for us. I mean, obviously we were just regular army, so they weren't like, hey, you can't tell anybody. But like, I mean, it's weird that no one knows what active duty is doing right now. They're 19-year-old privates. They don't understand OPSEC. I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I'm trying to phrase this without smoking myself. From the people that I spoke to who were at where I was at last week, they didn't mention or speak about nothing. So somebody like they're getting their orders from whoever is in charge of them and so on and so forth to shut the fuck up right now. About a lot.
All right.
Because usually you walk around and you hear like a lot of chatter. I didn't even see these boys out besides them walking to and from work, which is crazy for a Marine specifically.
Oh, okay. Marines. Mm-hmm. That one slipped a little bit, but okay. All right, so
give you a little juice.
Yeah, this is Karen in her investigation on fucking. Did you guys see this?
Today, March 4th, 2026, job listings appeared on Indeed for a position called Personal Effects Specialist. The job involves processing and documenting the personal belongings of deceased U.S. service members and preparing those items to be returned to their families. Now, to be fair, the company that had posted the jobs, they got a contract back in June of 2025 to provide support for the Army and Navy, all the branches of the military in this capacity. But the job listing was listed today. There's a whole lot more than 6. There's a whole lot more than 6. Numbers from overseas, when you watch news that are coming from sources outside of the United States, it's up in the high hundreds and most likely probably more.
Nuts.
That coupled with this being posted today, filling positions to process the items belonging to deceased service members, we need to brace ourselves. The numbers are going to be way higher.
All right, so someone needs to take away her Instagram for a minute, because where is Karen getting her open source intelligence?
And that disinformation to me, like, we're not allowed to talk about a certain group of people. There's a Florida statute for that. Yeah. But for this lady to go out and do that, you have families and service member families that are sitting here now. Maybe that starts to trigger them. Like, oh my God, like what could this be? My problem with that is even in those places they're at right now, there's communication. You can talk to your family. It's not like World War II where you have to send a letter. So to make that claim and to start that kind of chaos,
like, where is she getting hundreds from?
There's no way. There's no way. There'd be 100 families lined up going, hey, they're not reporting this. My kid's dead. I haven't heard my kid in 3-4 weeks. There's no way. There's no way.
I can speak specifically to like the smaller base, like not the smaller bases, but like the less kinetic bases, like being in Kuwait and whatnot. Bro, you're hearing from people there all the time. I'm talking to people from Kuwait right now as we speak. They sending me a t-shirt.
You gonna be around for a little bit for breaking news for the next hour and a half, or?
Yeah, I'll be around, boys.
All right, we're gonna bring on our communist. What do you call it? Correspondent. The
communist marine.
Oh, he likes a communist marine, not the communist, because there's more communist marines out there. But
beautiful.
Well, let us know if there's anything breaking. We'll bring you back on in a little bit.
Yeah, holla at you, boys.
All right, man. Thank you.
So before we bring on Ryan, and this is actually a really good video for him to talk about it with us, we want to explain the Marine that was kicked out of.
Well, basically, you had a Marine stand up and diss Israel.
Can't do that.
Can't do that, and then gets and you were breaking it down from the police tactics side, which I avoided because all the police pages just quickly posted about the tactics.
You want to play it first?
Yeah, we can play if you want to play. I got it set up, ready to go.
All right.
Reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. This is wrong. Stop. And nobody wants to fight for Israel. Commandant, please stand up as a Marine.
Go to manhandle
stand up
Marine
for
like
America.
Oh, we got ponytail, man.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
That was a good. That was. I want to go back a little bit. You hear, from what I believe, you hear his wrist break, and we'll break this down a little bit, and then we'll bring on Ryan to give his say on it.
For Israel.
Sir, thank you for your service.
The senator broke his hand. The senator broke his hand.
Commandant, help him, please. Help him. Commandant. He's a Marine. Somebody come help him.
Control your Senate committee.
Look at you guys. You're robots.
A U.S. senator.
You won't even look back.
You're like,
Look
what do you
at
want
you
me to
guys.
do?
You're like robots. Oh my God, what is happening?
Oh, they continued on with the hearing. I love it.
And you're not even looking back. Any of you 4-star generals. Oh my God, what is happening right now?
I'm assuming this woman filming is probably his wife.
Maybe.
Or I mean, the chance that someone was sitting next to him with a phone, started recording, and cares about this so much, happened to be sitting right next to him. I'm assuming they're in this together.
Front robots.
So there's a lot of things that we have to consider right here. Okay, so can you remove it? Can I remove it? I can remove it. I got it. Okay, so is this the right setting for what he was trying to do? Now, I'm a firm believer if you go do something and you're making a stance, you know the repercussions of it. And so he went in, made a scene, they removed him. His arm, unfortunately, his hand, by his doing, got stuck in a door jamb. They didn't put his hand in a door jamb and go, fuck you, Marine. He grabbed it. It's not their job. Their job is to get someone out of the courtroom.
No. Stop.
What's their job? To hear him out?
Their job is not to forcefully injure.
What's their
someone.
job?
To control themselves, because he's not violent. He's not hurting anybody. He's
So
fucking.
they just let him stand there?
No, you can get him out of there without breaking his wrist. He has a First Amendment right to speak. He's a
Not
human
there.
being. Sure, he does. Sure, he does. He's an
So
American.
what stops everybody from doing that in the whole room? The whole room starts doing what he does.
And that's a First Amendment right to speak.
There.
To break somebody's wrist because they have a strong opinion about something.
Mike, you're saying that he had
I'm saying he can be removed, but you don't get so tunnel visions and so fucking locked in that you're willing to break another human being.
But what if
service
you
mem-
didn't know his hand was in there?
Pay a fucking attention. He wasn't violent. He wasn't fighting. He was limp resisting and not wanting to go out. 100%. You don't have a right to injure him because you don't know how to tactically control. Why not handcuff him first before you get all the way back there and play the dog and pony show so he can't grab the door on the way out?
But you hold on. You're going to tell me that you're going to try to put handcuffs on somebody that's not compliant right now. You're going to
take him to the ground. Do something.
They tried. He kept fighting back. So if you're going to
fighting, he's not fighting. He's not fighting. He's resisting and
actively resisting.
Okay, take him. So what are you going to do? Wrestle him out the door to the hallway where there's more innocent people?
What do you
Why
do?
not
Go, you know what? Never mind. You won.
No,
start screaming.
Train and know how to take a human being to the ground and handcuff him on the ground in a safe place. Tase him. Fucking tase him if you're that serious about it.
So the whole thing. I just want to know the whole thing you're taking from this is the fact that they need to train BJJ.
No, I'm taking that.
The large picture of what just happened in our country.
The large picture is the cops, the tyrannical cops that drug a Marine out of there for saying something about Israel, which is exactly what we talk about on this show all the time. That's bullshit. Is they got so tunnel visioned. That guy was not. He was not going to kill anybody. Was not going to harm him. Did he need to be removed? Sure. Take him into the corner. Take him to the ground. Take him down right there. Do all your distractionary blows. Do it right there on the ground to try to drag him out. What is the point of dragging him out? A guy who's just yelling. Take him into custody. I have no problem with using force. Don't go. I'm not going. Don't touch him. Don't hit him. Don't strike him. Maybe he needed to be struck, but do it right where you're at. What they don't know what they're doing. They're just dragging him out because he's yelling, and he grabs a door. You have to be conscious.
Maybe it was a mix of like, I get what this guy's doing. Right. I'm a cop. Okay. I get it. Okay. He's a Marine. And it starts with the whole get back, and you think he's going to play the game. He's getting to get it out.
Okay.
You're like, he's a uniformed Marine. I'm a fucking cop with a man bun. I do not deserve to be putting my hands on this guy, but it is my job.
Correct.
So one of those things where you're like, all right. And then, when you're on scene and you're giving somebody the passive, like get back, and they're complying, but they want to get their point. And it's just easier for you to go, okay, get your point, go.
Good.
And then it escalated. And then maybe you're right.
It did escalate. And I'm not saying he didn't need to be removed. Don't take me there. But you still have to maintain professionalism and some type of awareness of your situation. If you're that worked up about a Marine yelling about Israel that you don't notice his hand is wedged between a door and you snap his wrist, what happens when he pulls out a gun or he actually starts resisting and punching you? Are you prepared to deal with that? That situation was only chaotic due to words. He wasn't hitting anybody. He wasn't punching anybody. He was being loud and obnoxious. That's all he was being. Does he need to go to jail? Sure, he's got to get out of there. I'm not saying he has a right to do it, but you can't be that tunnel visioned as a cop to not notice little things like this dude's arm is wedged between a door and I'm going to snap it because he's yelling about Israel. Is he right, wrong, indifferent?
I'm not lying, dude. When it's game time, I don't care if you put yourself in a situation and you're resisting me. It's not my job. If he starts punching himself in the face, is that your fault too?
No, he
did it to himself.
That's fine. He punched himself in the face,
but he got his hand stuck in the door.
Correct.
On his own doing, but that's the cop's fault.
No, I'm not saying it's the cop's fault, but do you think what he was doing was so egregious that you had to rush him out of a hearing? Stop the fucking hearing, dude. It's a bunch of jerk off fucking politicians yapping about nothing. Escort them all out. You know what? Dismissed. Everybody go in the back. Everybody move. We're going to deal with this fucking moron. There's a lot of things that can happen, but if you don't notice, if you're that locked in to a guy screaming, my point of this is if you're that locked into a guy just yelling, what happens when a guy really wants to fight you? And are you aware of what's going on? I'm not blaming the cops for even breaking his wrist. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that could have happened. What were they doing? They were like half tackling him, half wrestling him.
I'm going to bring on Ryan because Ryan would say, "You're pretty activated, my bro."
Yeah.
That's what he would say. Ryan, can you hear us?
I can, and I really appreciate this conversation. Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
So your opinion, I honestly thought this was like the perfect video for us to break down and maybe debate and possibly agree on some things. You have you have a lot in common with this Marine in the sense that you are a Marine and you are very anti-war. I'm assuming you're anti this. I don't think we've even talked to you since Iran kicked off, to be honest with you. I think it kicked off after last
Here we
Thursday.
are.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on
And
this?
I think it is
video?
important that, okay, well, I don't think that we should bomb any country if we cannot pronounce its name.
Oh,
So
sorry.
Iran is pronounced Iran.
That's
maybe
like
you have an Uncle
gyro,
Ron.
hero. It doesn't. I'm still gonna order the sandwich.
It's Iran.
But okay,
Iran. All right, Iran.
go ahead.
Iran.
Iran.
Yeah, and here we are in the midst of another morally bankrupt U.S. intervention. I think it's called what? Operation Epstein Fury.
That would be very accurate. I think. I agree with you on that one.
So our RIP to those needless casualties for the depraved genocidal Zionists and the Epstein class investors of the military-industrial complex.
What's your take on the video though that we just broke down?
Land of the free, home of the brave. Am I right?
Yep.
I think that God bless that courageous Marine veteran for leveraging his uniform items to bring attention to his cause.
Oh, Ryan, did you pay your electric bill?
Yeah.
We got you frozen, brother. Technically your neighbors is yours too, so you can use theirs.
We'll get to that, but yeah, it is the first time we've talked to him since I figured that's where it was going.
Because we talked to him Thursday and Iran kicked off. I want to say Saturday morning.
Yeah. How do you feel about that point? Like, to me, that's like when you put they're wrong, and that's the only argument somebody has is that you spelled they're wrong, right? All right, good. And you look better.
And
you always look good. You always look good, but the connection is better. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a different hat. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see the hat.
Oh, Bear upside down.
All right. Good.
And I am in a monogamous, loving relationship. So I'm sorry I'm off the market, but thank you. I want to say, like, God bless this, courageous Marine veteran for leveraging his uniform items to bring attention to this cause. I've been protesting for a very long time, and the police are by far the most violent group at any protest that I've attended. So I'm not surprised that excessive force was used in this incident. I'm not surprised that this Marine's hand was broken while just simply trying to resist this morally bankrupt Zionist-led occupation and intervention.
I mean, I kind of figured that would be your take. Do you think that it's fair? Let me ask you this. Do you think there needs to be, I think I'm answering my own thing. You think the systems are corrupt, it's totally morally bankrupt, but the process of Congress and all this government work, do you think it's okay for people to just stand up and start screaming, or do you believe in the process of we need to do this the right way, like it was erected 250 years ago?
Sure. Are you familiar with Citizens United?
I am not.
This was a Supreme Court decision that makes corporate contributions to political campaigns as First Amendment freedom of speech. So when we're talking about like freedom and democracy, I think we got to bring up Citizens United, where corporations have way more leverage than the average citizen does in the political process. I think that there are institutions like voting, like public comment, that serve to perpetuate the illusion of proletariat participation, right? Okay, here, citizen, here's your vote you get every 2 years. Okay, citizen, come to the city council meeting. You got 2 minutes. Go ahead. All right, now get back to work, peasant.
Yeah, I actually agree right across the board on that, because we elect these people, they're our voice, but anytime you see anybody try to get in there and actually use their voice, because hey, I want to say something too. I pay taxes. I go to work every day. Every council meeting gives you a limited time, and you'll get drug out. We watched the Long Island Artists do it. We've watched other people get drug out of public forums, not for being violent, not for being whatever, but you've now given me, the Constitution gives me a freedom of speech, but you've restricted that freedom of speech to 2 minutes, where you get all the time in the world to make every decision you want. You're funded by the government. You're using our tax dollars however you want. But I get to walk in, say my name, and part of the 2 minutes is me introducing myself, having to say my name and where I'm from. And then I get a minute and 30 seconds to get out a point that I might have been stewing on that's affecting my family, taxes, whatever the issue may be. And they go, okay, go ahead, you're out of here. And if you try to go over that 2 minutes, they'll drag you out of there just like that Marine and arrest you for disrupting their meeting. But we are the people. We are the ones that fund the nation. We're the ones of the backbone of the nation. It's not some dude that got elected in sitting in some chair that's doing all kinds of who knows what. So I agree that you to restrict the voice of the people to 2 minutes when we are the people. The fucking thing starts, we the people. We the people. But I go in and get drug out because I go over 10 seconds over my time. Sorry, bud, you're out of here. Come back next week. That part of the system to me is broken, and I don't think the people get enough time to talk and to really give their opinion.
Thank you so much for like validating this idea. And the gentle kind of amendment I would invite you to consider is that the system is not broken. Like the system works really well for how it was designed. It's designed for, upper class property owners, the wealthy, to, make the rules, right? Or to achieve their wealth through some sort of, morally questionable, to be like nice, method, and then they change the laws behind them so no one can do it afterward. Here we are, land of the free.
Yeah. How do you know how the people that represent this area of Congress, you know how they voted? Do you know what they voted for or for? You don't know. We don't know any of that. We don't pay attention. They get elected. We don't ever hold them accountable. They don't come back to the community and say, hey, everybody, you're my district. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to actually listen to what this district wants me to do. No, they're going to take the money from this guy, the big pharma, this construction company wants to build a building. They're going to listen to them and go, I better vote to erect that building or I'm going to be out of here.
Here's the thing. I mean, when you push people like that, I mean, Ryan, I've never asked you, this is kind of a general broad take, but what is your leaning towards January 6th? Do you think it was a merciless insurrection, or do you think it was some people that were pissed off and they just showed up and the government really took it out of context?
Yeah, this is a good question. I think like January 6th there was a lot of like fascists in attendance, right? There was literal swastikas and neo-Nazi, T-shirts and things like that, right? So I think that was definitely, problematic. And me, I've helped shut down freeways here in Oakland. I've, shut down
Thank you for your service, Ryan.
Yeah, so I mean, there is a sort of tactic that is like no business as usual. We shut down the port of Oakland during Occupy Oakland, and there is a tactic that is no business as usual. So, let me ask you this, right? If January 6th, instead of
my answer, my question,
real quick, like if January 6th was not a bunch of like disgruntled middle-aged white boys, and it was instead like Black Lives Matter folks, how do you think the police would have responded? The military would have responded? How do you think the public would have responded to January 6th?
If it was primarily a black protest, there would have been more fire engines needed than police, I would imagine. Black communities and black culture have shown a propensity to burn and be very prone to violence rather than what I saw at January 6th. So I didn't see. Now, granted, there was the inside where where somebody got shot and all that stuff. And then it spun a bunch of different narratives, like the oppressive government, the oppressive Capitol Police shot this guy that was just coming through a door. Then we heard, no, they were breaking through windows and the cops were barricaded. They had no other way out. I heard all kinds of crazy stuff. But as far as just the peaceful moving through their building, I'm going to go with y'all's argument. That's our building.
Yeah.
That's our building. We own that. We, the people, own that. If I want to peacefully stroll, now I understand I'm not a fucking crazy person like you guys. I understand there's law and order. I understand we can't go through that building.
Yeah.
But
law and order, take it. Take it. Law and order means
okay, well, law and order is also like a racist dog whistle, instead of being overt in terms of like, hey, we want to put all the black and brown people in prison, we say things like law and order. And you bring up a really important point that I think is important to apply some discernment toward, this idea of property destruction as violence. And that is absolutely false. Okay. Violence is harm to a human being. Okay. It is not harm to a global bank or an ATM machine or a McDonald's. That is not violent. That is destructiveness. Absolutely. It is absolutely nonviolent. And
but
if you'll notice, like responsible community members will target that reasonable, youthful destructiveness to global corporations and banks, not small mom and pop businesses.
well, I did not see that. In fact, I saw blacks burning black-owned businesses, and that was the whole point of black people coming on and going, my entire life is now gone because the youth in my community burn it down. But that being said, do you think that maybe as someone that refuses to own property or hasn't been allowed to own property or provided the opportunity to own property, that you wouldn't really understand that burning property, although you don't think is violence, is taking away from somebody's livelihood?
I like what you said about been prevented from owning property, right? And if we're talking about redlining, if we're talking about how like the GI Bill wasn't available to Black troops, right, for decades. So there are systemic forces that do prevent people from accessing security, right? Home housing and security. And one of the biggest obstacles to that housing security is investment banks and venture capitalists like BlackRock outbidding families on starter homes.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, when you bring up BlackRock, you're bringing the room together. I promise you that. But I mean, do you refuse? Like, let's say somebody gave you 30 grand. Do what you want. Do what you want. 30 grand from me to you. Would you put all that 30 grand into your communities that you're trying to build and your charities that you work for? And I pinned it. CompassionateVeteran.org is pinned in the comments if you guys want to go check it out. Would you donate all your money to that, or would you actually be like, oh shit, I'm going to put a down payment on a house, dude, this is awesome? And then, because would you take property if it was provided to you, the means were given to you?
I think property ownership is one of the fundamental problems in this country. I think that it's curious, about 90% of Chinese folks like own their housing. So yeah, I think property ownership is problematic. What I would do with 30 grand, that's a good question. Shit, I'd probably blow a bunch of it on, stupid stuff. And if we're talking about $30,000 and a down payment on housing, we're definitely not talking about California, my friend.
I know, that's
And
fair.
I don't know why I would want to live anywhere else.
As soon as I said that, I was like, that's not a very big down payment.
No. Well, you got to take care of the homeless and drug addicts on the street. You can't. That's a lot of the taxes go to that.
Ooh, great. Glad you brought that up too, my man. Because for every single unhoused citizen in the city of San Francisco, there are 6 vacant, empty housing units.
You brought that up.
Nationwide, it's greater than 20 to 1, right? So until we can look at the moral and mental deficiencies of landlords, we're never going to aim at the right target.
How about this? If we get the right investor, this is a great reality show. We'll go out there. We'll come out there and we'll put like 7 of those homeless people in a very nice brand new home, and then we'll monitor it and see how well they flourish when they're given good housing. That'd be great.
Yeah, that
would be a great show.
You could admit that, Ryan, that they're too far gone as addicts, that they couldn't be given anything nice, right? I mean, that's
no, maybe not.
Yeah, this is a good question. Do you guys know what SROs are? Single residence occupancies. This is basically like housing first policies. This is where we put folks off the street into sort of apartment buildings with like a front desk clerk and strict access. Are you guys familiar with SROs?
It sounds like stuff we have here, like halfway houses or something, places for people to go, but not that specific name.
Sure. So this is something that we are doing here in San Francisco and through major cities throughout the country, where we are putting folks, from the street into a shoebox, into not much more than a jail cell, right? And then we put all these sort of restrictions on their guests, on their access, and there are major barriers to thriving when we're putting human beings in what's been described as human warehouses. And then we put, when we put people in these shoeboxes and tell them to live in these housing units that were not designed for permanent residency, they were designed for, cheap hotels, an overnight stay, maybe prostitution, even a really brief stay. And then we put these diagnoses on these people like hoarding, right? When we put them in a shoebox, right? And then we say, oh, yeah, these people cannot live, responsibly. When wealthy people can hoard as much as they want, they can collect properties and cars and stuff their McMansions
But in
with,
your scenario, the housing was given to them. In the rich people's scenario, they paid for everything out of their own pocket.
due to exploiting working class labor and natural resources.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, somebody did comment in here who is, well, I don't know if they want us to say, but he's law enforcement around your area. And he stated that in a good point is that a lot of these people don't want housing because a lot of the housing requires you to be clean. Do you think that they should be provided housing even with current addictions that they suffer from?
Yes. And I would avoid the term clean because what is the clean? Opposite of clean? Dirty. And then that's like stigmatizing
gross,
language.
filthy,
And
smelly,
so
yeah.
I come from a harm reduction perspective, which means I love drugs and I love people that use drugs. And let's be real, white people,
Okay, I wasn't expecting
rich
that. I'm
people,
sorry.
yeah, rich people use drugs just as much as poor people do. Okay.
That's
And let's
true.
talk about
That's
the
true.
different in punishment disparities between powder cocaine and crack cocaine that was invented by the CIA.
I do believe that, and it was introduced into our streets. Yep, but another thing that we could we'll have to have one episode where we pick things that we agree on and we talk about it, and you wouldn't think there's so many disagreements between us, but
I do.
at the end of the day, yeah. What kind of music do you like, Ryan? I want to get to know Ryan a little bit. I'm assuming you like music. You're of that culture. Do you like rock and roll? What do you like?
Probably like hip hop, trap mostly. I like a lot of instrumental music, jazz. I'm a hell of a dancer, believe it or not. So I like to dance. I like dance music. I like most things except I'm not a big fan of like country music. I went to my first rave recently, which was fantastic. I tried 2CB, a synthetic psychedelic. It was fantastic. So yeah, I think I love a lot of music.
Okay. I didn't really do, and you don't say the N-word, right? When that N-word comes across, you
Absolutely. And you know what? Like I do a lot of like Instagram stories, probably spend too much time on it. But when I'm even curating the songs that I choose to go along with my stories, I'll intentionally avoid the N-word because this word isn't
Not
for
me.
me. It's not for us,
Not
gentlemen.
Young Dolph.
Oh, I bet.
Rest in peace.
Oh, I bet.
Rest in peace.
Waka Flocka.
Rest in peace,
I
young
go
Dolph.
hard in the paint.
Killed in his own hometown by a black male. Terrible.
My last question for you. Well, it's not really a question. I was watching that Marine video. Go ahead.
This whole kind of idea of like black on black crime is another kind of racist trope because most people that are murdered by their own race. This is just uniform. So like, why don't we talk about white on white crime?
Theirs is just disproportionately higher.
Nobody
Would you
cares.
agree with that?
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
we don't care about
like white boys disproportionately shoot up schools and movie theaters.
No, transgender white boys.
Yeah. What about the black guy, the Iranian, the pro-Iran guy that killed a bunch of white people at that shooting in Texas? We glazed over that one.
We cannot continue to slaughter the Muslim world and then be surprised when there's some sort of retaliation. And also, like, let's not forget about like false flag, okay, and how like a lot of times these Zios will like spray paint anti-Semitic stuff on their own buildings, right? So like let's
Mhm.
have a little bit more discernment, a little more critical awareness.
Yeah, and just Black History Month was last month, right? And in Chicago, there were 108 people shot during Black History Month.
That's it.
That's it in their own in their own community.
Yeah.
Shot and killed.
Maybe they're doing better.
83 shot and wounded. That's terrible. I don't know. You can go to a white neighborhood and find
108 killed.
108 total shot.
How many were killed?
30.
Where does
26
redlining come into your analysis?
I'm talking
Where
about.
do communities that are under-resourced and over-policed come into your analysis?
Doesn't sound like they're very over police if they're shooting each other at an astronomical rate. Sounds like the police are not around. I would think. I don't know. I can go around a lot of places and say, I don't think I could kill 26 people this month in this area without a cop getting me. But 108 people shot in one neighborhood in one city in America. Disproportionate.
Hey, I am not surprised to sit on a podcast with police officers and they're going to bring up Black Chicago crime. This is,
and I'm not
just
surprised
a
that you would
common
ignore
thing.
it. Well,
I don't ignore it, but I'm gonna acknowledge the historical, the systemic, the political, the economic factors that have contributed to these circumstances on our streets.
And here we are today, where everything is skewed the other way, and in this community where police can't go. You say they're over policed. Police can't go into Chicago. There's neighborhoods in Chicago police cannot drive through. We've showed video after video of middle-aged young Black males with automatic weapons where the police could not possibly go into that area. So I think it's very under-policed, if you want my opinion, because how do you take that back over?
That's exactly the thing. Take over is a big part of the problem. And so this is where a lot of street gangs in California came from, was as resistance to police brutality in their neighborhoods. You guys ever heard of the Zoot Suit riots in Los Angeles?
But let's, and I will give you police brutality I will give you that from many years ago. Horrible, right? And now they've had
police brutality over
on the scale that you're thinking it is. Yes,
the world was a better place.
The
with
problem,
police brutality.
I would think, black on black crime is causes far more deaths to Black males than police brutality. And if you can, there's no way you can tell me it doesn't.
And where does white on white crime fit in your analysis?
Don't shoot everyone, every race. They don't kill as many people in a year that just in Chicago basically almost killed themselves in their one community. So that's
Are you saying that Black people? Are you saying that cops?
We're not getting anything.
Are you saying that cops do not disproportionately kill Black, brown, and indigenous
that's
people?
on us. Hey Ryan, hold on 1 second. We got to fix some audio. Do your thing, Lewis.
Thank you, Lewis. Check, radio check, Lewis.
All right, we're there.
Go ahead.
Can you talk now?
What I will say, because we are at the end of my time here, is that these conversations are so important. And I do believe that the more we engage in them, the more we realize that we have things in common more than we disagree about. So I just want to appreciate you guys for having these difficult conversations.
I have a question. Real quick, you believe that we can all identify as what we want, no matter what. If I identify as something, that is my choice, and you support that, right?
No.
What? Why?
Because you're a white male. You're a white male.
You want to identify as a fire truck? Like, what are you trying to identify as, my guy? Anything?
Yeah. If I identified as a female, are you going to support that?
Sure.
Okay. Am I allowed?
I think
to
if more
like
cops, if this is your religious faith, looks good on you. That hairline is kind of struggling. I think that's why we all wear hats.
He did it to himself. All right. We appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you so much. And I think we have some other, like CC and Dom. I think, would you be down for like a 4-way debate with like some of our guys in like its own show?
Every single person that contributes to this network wants to debate.
Yeah. So I think what we do is, and they're all very reasonable. Everybody would talk, but I think that would be a great, maybe a Tuesday to fill in like a.
We got to get with Ryan with the schedule. He's 3 hours.
We'll get with you. We'll
us.
get your schedule, but I would like to see we have some contributors that would love to talk to you. and I think it would be very productive
Hey, that's great.
for
You
entertainment.
have my email. I look forward to the contract and the wages, and thank you for the generosity in advance.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Right on, gentlemen. Peace.
Later. All right, we will be right back with Dominick Izzo after this quick commercial break.
Come on, Lewis.
Come on, Lewis.
Over a century ago in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundation, re-engineered medical education from a holistic, whole-body approach, which appropriately treated the body as an interconnected system, to a compartmentalized approach under the guise of specialized medicine. They shut down or consolidated medical schools, marginalized naturopathic, homeopathic, and chiropractic medicine, replacing them with symptom management and synthetic drugs. Allopathy is a marketing strategy rooted in fear and manipulated science. This philosophy carried into veterinary medicine, resulting in over-vaccination, unnecessary surgeries, and manufactured food, just like they did for people. They call it care, but it's predatory and based in profitability. The truth? Toxicity, compromised immunity, and chronic inflammation. They're not fate. They're engineered. And so is your power to undo them. We built 3 targeted formulas to return the body to homeostasis, for pets and people, to detox, defend, and restore. We are the correction to decades of corruption. We are vengeance.
And we're back. Don't forget to check out the best clothing line in the Counterculture Network. As soon as Lewis hits the button, CopvilleOG.com. Use code ANTIR15 for 15% off. Hats, hoodies, stickers, patches, everything. Coffee cups that Tyler wouldn't have to heat up. They would stay hot. Check out CopvilleOG.com. You get your stuff fast. You get your stuff made in somewhere, and it comes directly to your house way faster than the other networks clothing. Go to what was the website? CopvilleOG.com. Use code ANTIR15 for 15% off. The commies got me messed up.
I remember my first ad read.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There was this morning on the Ghost Bed.
yeah. So also for the OG apparel line in the network, go to countercultureinkthreads.com and use promo code antihero and you'll save 15% on everything counterculture: graphic stickers, graphic t-shirts, hats, Ranger panties, zip up hoodies, pullover hoodies. We have everything. And if you go to Patreon, you get an even bigger discount.
Yeah, you do. And you get custom merch.
I'm thinking about giving the tier, the big tier, a big counterculture discount that drop shipping companies just are not going to be able to compete with. I'd like to see.
I'm
What
glad
I like,
you said that, because I have patches at home just for those guys. in
well,
the top tier Patreon.
sometimes when you drop ship, you have things coming from like multiple areas. So you got to pay shipping a couple times. It's okay. A couple
Well,
shipping
the
purchases per order.
the
It's fine.
customer.
Everything comes from in-house from Tyler to you with a hand signed note.
Yep.
Shirts that I
And
bag.
it might be a tank top, might be a hoodie, might be a t-shirt, as people like to point out. But if you order from me, you only pay shipping once, even if there's multiple locations.
and-
I eat the shipping on all that.
and it's packed by Sing Tong Young.
And
He's 7.
we'll bring
And he's
Tyler.
paid by
we would-
5 cents an hour.
We would bring Tyler's shirt guy in, but he's down at 7-Eleven right now working, so he'll be in after
My
shift.
goodness. My goodness. No bar too low for Mike. All right. Dominick Izzo.
You're going way too fast for Lewis. There he is. You would have been nice, Dom. Oh, hold on.
I have no desire to debate him, and I'm gonna tell you why. He is the foundational concept of my political views. Everything he said is fantastic when it comes to free housing and you want to do your drugs, all this stuff. Everything he says is fan-fucking-tastic. But you have a polarizing side. It's completely fucking delusional to try to attempt any of that. That guy, I actually feel bad for him because he's riding so hard on his beliefs. He's got to triple down on everything. I mean, yeah, you're going to go on the black on black crime. I was sitting there and listening to that aspect of it. You can't respond with, well, whites are school shooters. Well, yeah, two things could be true at the same time. And if whites shot up schools at the ratio and rate that blacks shot up their own neighborhood, we'd have no kids tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The bad part about it is that guy is going to live so hardcore in his beliefs that when he's faced the reality of opposition, where I don't know, he creates an own community of free, autonomous living. We're all community. Everybody gets equal this, equal that, and free housing and whatever. And then you find out the basic, fundamental human nature of greed and coveting. And yeah, you may have gotten this for free, and you see human behavior. He's going to have the most horrible wake up call, and I think he's a ticking time bomb.
If you built that, if we did what I said, if I won the lottery tomorrow and I said I'm going to buy 50 houses in that neighborhood, box it off, and I'm going to bring all those people in, it would be like Walking Dead within like a year.
Yeah.
There would be
within a day.
There would be a group that takes over. They would run the whole camp, and eventually they'd be dead, and they'd be out trying to go right back where they started.
Into Chads.
They'd be right back where they started, leaving the compound to go find food because they'd be all gone. You could give it to them. You could give them everything they wanted, and it would turn into The Walking Dead immediately.
There's Walking Dead is a great show. People think it's a zombie show. It's not. Walking Dead represents what happens when society goes to shit.
Correct.
It's like every time somebody wants something in America to happen, they want, like when you're talking about January 6th or whatnot, and you're backing up. When I asked this for, I don't know, one podcast a couple of years ago, I said, okay, when the shit hits the fan and everything's done and we've protested and we've taken our country back, which blue check mark are you going to follow? Because now you got them all, right? All your conservative, big million follower blue check marks, they've all got their own people. Well, who's going to be head of that group? Or are you going to have 20 or 30 now factions all, you got Republicans and Democrats separate. Now you got 20 or 30 Republicans that are infighting and whatnot. Who's the strongest? Who's going to survive? So I feel bad. That guy's going to wake up one day and his rage is going to take him the fuck over.
What did you think about the Marine video?
I thought it was disgusting. And I thought, to be honest, it's more proof that cops are dictated by their paychecks. It is what it is. We saw it during the lockdowns.
Did he get a pass? Does he get a pass because he's in dress blues, or what's the deal? Is it because he's a Marine? I don't understand.
What was the crime?
Trespassing.
What was there? Did he trespass?
Well, they wanted him out. So,
But
It eventually became trespassing, I would think, but originally it would probably be like,
I don't know what the laws are in DC.
Okay, so if there's two ways to look at it, are these glorified like security guards, or are they actual cops?
I think they're glorified court deputies. Capitol Police is not.
No.
First off, the cops. What cop means to me is different, and Capitol Police are not cops. They're not out there fucking getting dope warrants, guns.
no, this is their dope gun and warrant. This is
baby.
we got a resistor. We got somebody that's talking out about us.
Right,
This is their big thing.
well, again, so if that's the case, what was the offense? What was the criminal crime he committed?
At the minimal, it could be like disrupt, whatever the version of it is.
Disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct,
You
something to that effect.
You like I always say we don't know. There's no context, but I would like to imagine there was already something set in stone. They knew this guy was coming. There was some kind of intel that he was going to do what he did. And they were like, as soon as he opens his mouth and stands up, take him out. And that's why there was no negotiation. There was no, sir, calm down. Sir, please come outside with me. It went from what it looks like. Now there's no context and there's no video before him, but it looks like it just like that. And so that's probably what it was, is that
So
they
yeah,
knew.
once again, you get the cops who are the henchmen of the government. This is why the cops are stupid. The cops should have sat there and said, wait a second, you want to use us as pawns again? Have you not been seeing what's been going on in the media? We went through what we went through in 2020, the lockdowns. People hate us. They think we're doing X, Y, and Z. You got a problem with this, then let us do it our way. Let him finish his speech and then go. What did he take? Time? Is that the crime, that he robbed somebody of their time? Now, I know that the precedence is set then, well, if you let him do it, you got to let everybody do it. We talk about law and order, but this is one of those cases then you have to have a completely separate fucking uniform. Then if it's court, then those guys got to be all in black suits, a security guard. They look like that. The fact that they were even remotely associated with police makes it look like police are trampling on free speech.
And who looks bad? It's the police.
Well, I'm a firm
They
believer.
made them look bad.
I'm a firm believer. I said this when Tyreek Hill was pulled over. If cops are going to think they are going to blanket cover everything, the same way, no matter if it's a fucking crackhead or a celebrity. That cop is retarded and not a good thinker, because at the end of the day, oh shit, this is a decorated Marine in dress blues doing something on purpose. Maybe we should react a little bit differently, because the video is going to come out of us breaking his fucking hand in uniform.
And if he starts to get violent, then you increase your violence. There's no problem with that. But at the simple fact that he's yelling,
I know, but I notice right now, depending on your argument, Mike, it's you increase violence when they start to increase violence.
Yes.
But some other things, like when we break down Jerry Worm's video, you laugh and joke and you say violence stops.
No, I say more force now is less force later.
So maybe that's what they were doing.
They didn't even start. They went right to hands on. Like, hey man,
Well,
look, I understand. I agree with. Come on, dude. Verbal. This is where the dumbest thing ever said.
That
is
guy was
verbal
not going to
judo.
respond to verbal.
You
judo.
start bumping. Come on, man. Let's go. Keep talking. You can keep screaming it. Just start moving. At least try it. Try.
What would have been
Try
a better
and
chance?
bump.
How about let him finish?
Yeah.
Let him fucking finish. Get him out. You're done. What would have been the
I don't
problem?
think he would have. But maybe he was looking for a viral. That is actually a tactic that I've
Give him
employed. That
seconds, then go.
I've employed that. It was 20 people did a march inside a mall. They were protest. They were Islamic or Muslims or something. They were protesting Apple. They walked in front of the Apple store and started protesting. Their representative came up to me and said, "Hey man, we're going to be 4 to 4.5 minutes. We're cutting a viral clip. We're going to be out of here. No problems." And I go, "All right, go ahead." I let them do it. They walked out of the mall, and I just let the watch commander know. I'm like, "Hey, just tell intelligence that sure as shit, they cut a video making it look like there was 500 of them, and they took over a mall. They were in there 20, 25 of them for 4 minutes, and they were out. And I just let them do it. And my job is keeping the mall safe was done.
So you made your own argument. Like
No,
that's
I'm saying I can see all sides.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like
I'm a
agree.
real cop. I don't just jump ship
Oh my
on
God.
my ideas and my beliefs.
Oh my God. Anyway, if you're a real cop, then you don't really need to break a dude's hand over him yelling. You would be able to use some other. He broke his own hand. You would be able to use some other tactics to get rid of him. I think, and it looks better. Even if you broke his hand, but you use the other tactics first, like Dom told him, like, "Hey man, give him 30 seconds. All right, buddy. Hey man, I'm trying to get you out of here. Let's go. He's not violent. He was never violent. Never violent. He was yelling.
No, cops got political at that point.
They should have beat him with nightsticks. Just fucking did the whole thing. Just made it a scene.
He wasn't
Just
black.
they should have just kneeled on his neck. Just get over it. Just kneel on his neck. Get
Hey,
over with.
Couple super chats. Jay Sanders says, "Cheers, Tyler, for the delivery. Sorted out with the shirts. Complaint retracted. Thank you." Clint says, "Oh my goodness, Izzo rides one of those giant front wheel bikes like the Harleys." Custom chopper.
No, to be fair, the ball gag in your mother's mouth when I'm doing it from behind doesn't have.
Clint would love that.
And Justin Donut Shop says, "Cops don't break hands, doors break hands." Thank you, Justin.
Yeah. Anyway, so you think? What do you think about the Israel part of it?
I'm
Go ahead, man. Layup.
I don't. I'm so tired of being the world's police.
What do you think about the Jews, Dominic?
No, the message was about Israel. So what about that? What's the verbal part of it? Let's talk about that.
I don't, and I don't support Israel. I don't support anything that's outside the borders of the United States. It's pretty simple as that. I'm a Christ follower. Sorry, the Jews are not God's children. Those people read Romans for the love of God. Paul explains it pretty clearly. We are the chosen people, so it is what it is. So no, I have no support for Israel.
And tell us about the new show format you're doing tomorrow night. You got a little different. You're having guests now, right? On Friday nights.
You're having some people on. Going to be talking about some stuff, and because I know people want to hear more than just my big fucking mouth.
You know what? I commend people that, I mean, we've talked and you've openly talked about it, how the only person that you can really trust is yourself. And so you go into business with yourself, you set up your own show, and I don't know, have you always been the type of personality from day one that can talk for an hour straight and be competent and be clear? Or was that a learned skill? Because if you put a camera on me for an hour.
I started when Facebook Live started going. It was right when I was campaigning, so 2018, and I actually got started in this because of Joe Biggs. Joe Biggs, we were connected on Facebook, and he was doing his lives, and I told him, I sent him a text. I said, "Hey, if you flip this button here, it'll it'll right way your shirt so it doesn't read backwards. And he goes, hey, I've seen you do like I was doing cigar in a car. I would have a cigar in my car and answer people's questions about law enforcement. He goes, you've ever thought about doing radio? I go, no. Anyways, he got me in touch with an internet radio company, and they said, do you want to do a show? I said, absolutely. Go, they want an hour or 2 hours. I go, 2 hours. 2 hours. So the format, because it was internet radio, instead of like 8-minute breaks, it was an opening, 27 minutes, 3.5 minute break, 27 minutes, 4-minute break, 27 minutes, 3.5. So I had 4 27-minute blocks to do. And I would just talk, and I didn't know what it was called because I'm an external processor. If you ask me a question, I don't think first and then answer. My thoughts generated out of my mouth create my answer. So you could say, hey, have you ever seen this band? And I'll give you a 20-minute dissertation when the word yes suffices. So the guy who owned the station, Doc Thompson, he had said that, he goes, you're doing a stream of consciousness show. I go, what? He goes, yeah, you're doing a stream of consciousness. What the fuck is that? Because you're talking your thoughts out. So to be honest, it's always been a case, and it's nothing more than the ability to externally process my thoughts. That's it.
Okay. All right. And then somebody asked, you are wearing pants?
The fuck do you
they
care?
Want to know.
They
want to know if you actually dress up nice for every show, or if you're just dressing for when you take a pic in like the military where they just drape you, they put the jacket on you and you're in
airborne school. When I graduated airborne school, they're like, here, put this on.
But you're in fucking silkies.
To be honest, I am in dress slacks, and here's why. Being an entrepreneur is one of the fucking hardest jobs in the world because it's so damn easy to get distracted by what's online, what's in the fridge, this and that. And that's why I stand when I do podcasts and shit. I can't sit. Otherwise, I'll get distracted. So I found out that if I'm only dressed from the waist up appropriately, I don't take shit seriously. So I dress full fucking suited in the house doing my job.
That is
not only does he dress, like if he dresses to the occasion,
the show.
The occasion on my thumbnail, like if I thumbnail it a certain way, he comes out completely in character. Yep. At his own. No,
I got like 100 ties and almost 13 suits.
I gotta send you. I got a good tie for you. I'm gonna send you one. I got a great one for you. I sent it to Sal. Sal's got one.
What's that video that you said you were gonna play yesterday, but you didn't?
That was that one.
The Marine
one?
one?
Yeah. I saw it last night. Last thing, Dominic, tell us about your version of loyalty, because I know how you are and how you've been screwed over. Give it to me.
Nothing more important. Loyalty is the most important thing. It's not respect. It's not anything. All those other things come with loyalty. Because you can kind of respect somebody, but you can't be 100% loyal. You can loyalty. You got to respect me a little bit this much, right? So loyalty is the most important fucking thing out there to me. It's as simple as that.
Good, and I'm glad we're on the same page with that. We've become very close, you and the show, and like I always joke that my version of meeting Dom was some loud voice coming out of my wife's phone yelling and screaming, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what is he yelling about? And then we met, and we found out we have a lot in common.
Yeah, it sucks now. I was talking to Rachel about it the other day. I had some guy at the gym come up. He's like, dude, I love your shit. And I find myself just going, thanks. And I move on. And I know I'm like, I don't mean to be a dick, but at this point, I don't know who is saying, hey, I love your shit to my face, but how many times have you been a cocksucker to me in my comment section?
Well, you actually came. We had to iron that out at first, because you had a lot of meme pages that were very nasty to you. And one of your first statements to me was, "Aren't you one of the motherfuckers that came after me?" I'm like, "No, dog, not me." And then we've become. That was about a year and a half ago, and we've been straight ever since. So I appreciate you, Dom. You're a great. You're loyal. You're very loyal. I mean, you're by definition. I don't have to ever wonder.
If I had to model, if somebody asked me about the perfect loyal, like the perfect model for loyalty, I would say Dominick Izzo.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Yep. We appreciate it, Dominic. We'll see. We'll check out your new show tomorrow. 8. Yeah, you can take.
Tomorrow. Believe it or not, I got touch base again, but I've got Miranda showing from oh my God, not Coral Springs. I can't remember what it is. She's a female cop. Believe it or not, she's gonna be joining me tomorrow.
She's on your show.
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell her all the bad things about female cops?
No, she knows it. She's actually, it's her. And I actually had somebody, it sucked. I had a Ted from Fit Responder texted me the other day. He goes, so-and-so. And I like Ted. Ted's a nice guy. Ted is starting to come around. Ted gave me shit. Well, females can be cops. And now Ted's starting to go.
I have seen him coming around on some posts.
We did the podcast interview.
We're getting Ted back.
Well, a year ago, I did a podcast with Ted, and he's like, "You can't say that all women aren't or shouldn't be cops." Now Ted's agreed, but anyways, he asked me, sent me a text, and said, "Do I know so and so?" And Megan, I can't remember her Habib, maybe her last name is Valkyrie Fitness, and he goes, "Did you know about this woman? Because somebody's feeding me shit about her." And she shouldn't be a cop, or she isn't a cop. She got fired, or X, Y, and Z. And I said, yeah. I said, know about her because somebody else tried to do the same thing. Give me shit. They gave me her court case. I looked at it and I said, this woman has been fucked over. So I reached out to her. I said, give me a call when you can. I want to talk to you about something. She read my message, didn't respond, but it does suck. And I guess I have
this is Jersey, the Jersey State Police.
Yeah.
Is this the girl from Jersey? Yes, I was sent that as well.
Added up, fit as fuck. But so Ted asked her, somebody's been talking shit about you. She goes, oh, is it Izzo? And I said, that's not fucking me. So I actually talked to her. I had a conversation on the phone the other day, and I said, I was trying to let you know, I believe you got fucked over, and I want to have your back and whatnot. So it does suck that I know the corner I painted myself into, but I do go out of my way to try to help female cops.
This is the something to do with the DUI and then some reports, right?
It was the biggest stretch of bullshit that I read to where they went, we need to discipline you on something. And I told her, I said, it's because you're fit, you're attractive, and you got a fucking mouth. I said, you got a target.
I didn't see the whole case. I saw the appeal version, which is very narrowed. It's just narrowed down to, yes, we sustain it. I didn't get all the details as far as what actually happened, but I did read a little bit about it.
I think she got fucked over big time.
All right, we'll check you out tomorrow night, Dominic. We appreciate you coming on, and as always, man.
Bye, Dominic.
I try not to say Dom, and I always slip.
I know.
It's so hard. Like every friend I had, like Dom in the garage, like a guy who works at the sheriff's office, I used to work at. He's Dom. Everybody's Dom.
I'm a little friend.
You are. You're good. Yeah. You call me all kinds of shit, but that's fine.
Dude, you're a fucking communist after today.
Oh my god, dude.
You want to bring CC back on?
Sure. Make sure he's ready, Lewis. Don't.
Oh wait.
Bro. He said you want to bring. I heard it, and he just said, "Hold that. Let me see what this motherfucker's doing."
Is that macaroni and cheese in the room with you?
Yo, dude. I mean, I know you wanted to debate him, but he only has a limited amount of time, and I didn't want to hit him. I know you'd be respectful, but that's why we're gonna try to set something up.
It's all love.
What do you think about it?
I think he's very misguided, and his white privilege blinds him from understanding the reality of what people who look very similar to me are actually doing in these streets.
And he's one of the white privilege guys that will try to tell minorities how like relate or tell them what they should think. He would tell you, even though you are black, he would tell you what's good for you. He would actually tell you because he knows, and then that's that false white privilege. I don't have white privilege, but I'm going to tell a black guy how he should feel.
Exactly.
Like, white privilege. Like
he's the exact. That's the exact one. Yep. I 100% agree with you, Mike.
Yeah, that's crazy work. When I see that, I love it. Like you're going to tell this guy what he should think. And if you don't believe him, then you're the problem. Well, you are one of the problems.
That's why you're the bad ones. And then they drop the N-word.
Yeah, I mean,
he dropped the hard R.
He definitely did not surprise me when he was like, I enjoy drugs. I'm like, I know.
You're like,
I commend somebody that can do them recreationally to be up at 8 a.m.
But here's what I don't like. You can go back to say why all these things happen. Like you can blame slavery, you can go all the way back, blame all the bank. But here we are right now.
Slavery was black people's fault.
Well, you can say that. I can't. But he said slavery is black people's fault. So I'm repeating what he said. Don't play any more Simon Says with me because I don't want to say anything else that you're allowed to say that I'm not allowed to say. But now that we've established that happened, all that happened, whatever you're going to blame. But here we are now. And I know Chicago is always the default, but you can't glaze over that. That there it is. That is not the problem in Chicago. The problem is criminals with guns killing each other. You can't blame the banks. You can't blame the police. You can't blame the white man.
Well, it's
for that.
It's interesting you said the word blame, my friend.
Yeah. That's a really good. That's a really good.
When we're talking with him, I think the whole time we're talking, he's just coming up with a debate. I've never once heard him say, "Actually, you're right."
He never answered my question about Somalia.
Didn't answer my
fraud.
question about fucking. I just asked him something today, and he just bounced around to the point where I was like, "Did he not answer my question?"
No, he didn't. No.
Well, I mean,
Jerry Fix.
the chat, all the people in the chat were just saying he's deflecting. He refuses to answer any question, and then he answers the question by playing the whole white privilege card, saying, "Oh, but I don't like that type of tone because that language is like very oppressive."
Yeah, even Somalia. When I mentioned Somalian crime in Minnesota and the billions, he blamed it on white people. Well, it all goes back to the 7 BC when this white guy is like, come on, man, like, give me an answer. Give me an answer. And there's really never an answer.
Well, I mean, the reality is that everybody always likes to make excuses and give reasons as to why this, why that, but then they'll also omit very important parts of history, like the first federally legal slave owner was black. So we can start there. That's number one.
Well, I was going to ask you, how is slavery black people's problem?
Who put the slaves on the boat when they
black
died?
people.
Who sold them?
Oh, okay.
Who sold them? Who picked them up? Who brought them to America?
And they have the same last names. So don't tell me Finkelstein in 1830 wasn't a small hat. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I've always, even since I was a kid, I've always wondered like there's still slavery active in like over half the world, and I just made that up, by the way. But there's no active slavery
right here.
It's not even wrong. Yeah, you're not even wrong, Tyler. So you don't even have to say you made it up because it actually is the reality, and it's more than half the world. You go to anywhere in China, there's a whole group of Christians that are currently slaves in China. You go to anywhere in the Middle East, all have slaves. The biggest slave trade wasn't even when the U.S. had the Atlantic slave trade. The whole big slave trade in history of the world is happening right now, in front of our faces. So it's bullshit.
Why does our society and our country push the black slavery in the 1800s in our faces every single day, all the time? Never forget it, never allowed to move on. Like, why is that a thing? And are we just retarded as a country where, and this is the most offensive clip I'm ever going to put out there, but like the whole world's fucking doing it. Whole world's fucking doing it. But here we have to be made felt bad because 100 years ago people owned slaves and it wasn't even the
worst thing. I mean, hey, you had a guy, you know what I'm saying? He clipped the yard and did all this other stuff and then slept in the shed.
I mean, yeah. And then there's indentured servants.
Are we going to glaze over? Are we going to glaze over his definition of slavery? Holy shit. I think it might have been a little worse than that, but once again,
you had to beat him half the time to even work.
To all those things that happen, like you have multiple generations removed from that. And we kind of get I get flack or frowned upon by saying, well, I didn't do it. I didn't own a slave and I don't condone it. And I would never want that to happen to anybody. I would.
I can't. Like, you always go, and I don't condone it. I would never own a slave.
It was never me.
You don't have to say that.
Never
Mike,
me.
you can't. It just kind of implies.
If I moved to China and opened an iPhone factory, I would pay fair wages. I would pay fair wages. I would pay fair wages.
You know they're not allowed, right? You don't have to say that anymore.
He just said half the world has slaves.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to.
I can move somewhere to have slaves. Can I? No, I don't. That's what I just said.
He's just saying he's not against it. He's not against going and having some slaves.
So who would it be? I could. Yes. I could move to an island and traffic children if I wanted to. I mean, half the government did it, but I don't want to.
Half?
So that's good. That's
right?
good.
Right? I wouldn't
Just
create
half?
a whole war just to hide the fact that people did that. Never.
The files dropped and we started bombing Iran.
I'm just saying. But I would never. But I'm still responsible for what people did.
Yeah.
I'm still responsible for what
And
people
it'll
did.
never go away.
It's getting thinner and thinner, I think. Eventually.
Yeah, like that. There's an entire generation of black people out there that think reparations are going to happen. Like that's crazy to me.
When
They really believe it.
When
And
the
I'm like,
Muslims and Somalians outnumber all of us, well, none of us are gonna be able to talk about much. So just hold on.
you know what's going to happen is when they start outnumbering us, guess who's going to come? They're going to come out of nowhere, charging on their steeds with their swords as the fucking Jews, and we're going to be like, sorry for saying all these things about the Jews.
Yeah,
and they're going to be like, it's okay, and they're going to be going to war with all the Muslims.
Stars
Well,
of
we
David's
podcast.
everywhere. Shoo. Jewish ninjas.
Shalom.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Tristan's right. I have slaves making these war hats as we speak. What are you talking about? Made in Vietnam, baby.
But I mean, the whole thing goes back to even like to school. Like I homeschool myself personally, and I can tell you 100%. Just me being remembering, and the chat can comment on this from when they remember when they were in school. It's all pushed on you from school. So the
You
school
give yourself federal grant.
No, not yet. I'm about to. About to get $6 billion from my Leering Center.
You get free lunch and free.
Dude, DC probably has 2 podcast stations where he rolls to the next one. He puts on a chain and a fucking grill in his mouth and a fucking.
Don't forget about the third
and a
one. He's got a third one
He's
too.
got another station where he puts his tiny hat on.
Dun, dun. Well, guys, so I want to talk to you about how the anti-hero broadcast is being very anti-Semitic, and it really, I'm sorry, it's my allergies.
That was good. That was good.
Oh boy, are we potato yet?
Not yet. I'm co-signing you, so you're good right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, dang it, they got one.
They got one. We got everything in him. We're
Yeah.
covered.
We're
I
covered.
wanted to
baby.
bring this to your guys' attention too.
Uh-oh.
Heather sent me this. So this is first of all, did you know in California there's charges that have to do with CP that are only
Oh
misdemeanors?
yeah, I heard about this.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
That guy's running for office.
that a
Personally,
guy?
I felt
Yeah.
attacked. I had met with
A
them
twink.
several times. I had
If biological male, he's what I would picture as a sex offender. Like if you had to
That's
pick
a biological male?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the type of guy that like wants to be friends with children.
gave them plenty of opportunity to talk to me privately.
That's not a female
Not one of
transition.
them reached out
I
to
don't
me.
think so.
Fresno City Council candidate, 41-year-old Renee Campos, a registered sex
Renee.
offender, responding to Thursday's uproar from council members.
He's French.
We have a registered sex offender that is currently running for Fresno City Council. While I respect anybody's ability to serve our community, I find this quite disturbing.
I did hear some of the concerns of a potential future or former Epstein type candidate coming to this dais.
Epstein-type
Any given
candidate.
Thursday, we have
That's
kids
crazy.
in this room. We have families.
Campos is registered on the California Megan's Law website. It's because he was arrested in 2018 after a cyber tip was sent to the local Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
We went to this home in Fresno. There we contacted Campos, and we were able to determine that he had been downloading and sharing child sexual abuse material.
Then
The
why the
sheriff's
fuck
office
is
says
he in
he's-
prison?
It's California, bro.
Why
They
is
go
he
to jail for that.
It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They just said that. It's
He should be
misdemeanor.
murdered.
I don't know. I've never heard of a CP charge that was a misdemeanor ever in my life.
I don't know how. It's a federal crime.
California.
You're using the fucking
love.
internet to transmit fucking images. What the fuck?
Somebody dropped the
Spent
ball.
nearly a
California,
month
man.
in the Fresno County Jail after he pleaded no contest to a sole misdemeanor charge of possessing and controlling child pornography. Now, several
Mis-
members of the Fresno City Council announcing they're working on legislation to bar him and other sex offenders from running.
This isn't about one person. It's not about an election. It's not about
This
a
is
race. It's not about
crazy.
politics. This is about keeping City Hall a safe, free, participating home for all of the residents of Fresno.
Well, Campos believes that action would go against the Constitution and that he has a right to run and has been accountable since the beginning.
I am no danger to no one. I put everything out there, every detail I can to make people feel that I have been transparent every single way. Nobody does this in government.
I want
Nobody
to
comes
take
out
care.
this from the very beginning. Hey, I up. Personally, I felt
Okay, I caught that one about 5 seconds too late.
That's crazy.
how is it a misdemeanor?
Well, it's California. Everything's a misdemeanor over there.
I wonder how.
Except
we
having
gotta
a
ask- we
loud
gotta ask
car.
Ryan- we would have to ask Ryan how he feels about that. I would like to know his take on that.
He would avoid the question.
No, he's got to answer it.
Dude,
He's not answering that.
I got to hear that. I got to hear how that's okay. Well, should we put him up? Should we help that guy out?
Put him up.
The guy. Should we help that guy out? I'm saying. Should he be able to run? I'd like to hear.
We should
his-
give him a free house.
You would ask
Yeah,
Ryan. I thought you
what-
were asking me. I'm like, damn, we had a communist on, but I had a fucking child.
I don't understand how I don't understand how that could be a misdemeanor.
I don't either. Like you said, if it's a federal crime that's usually prosecuted through the state, right? Like,
Well, I mean, if you transmit through state lines, that's when the feds get involved. When you have, you're using the internet. I got to look that up now. I got to see how it's a misdemeanor to share abuse.
producer stuff, you know. You guys keep talking. I'll find out. How is? Well, I don't want to put shot.
Yeah, that's a wild Google search.
Almost got him. We almost got him. Yes, you look it up.
Almost.
CP and only get a misdemeanor.
Hold on.
How to download CP and not get arrested? Question mark.
Only get a misdemeanor.
What is it?
It can be charged as a felony or a misdemeanor depending on the facts.
Well, I mean, what are the?
All
right. All right, hold on.
Penal code.
I hope she didn't look that up in Tyler's house. Jesus.
Yeah, no, just a studio IP address.
California Code 311.1a is a wobbler crime, knowingly possessing, produce, publish, or distribute obscene matter depicting a person under 18 engaging in sexual conduct. It includes physical and digital AI images. Convictions can lead up to 1 year in court, 1 year in jail, or 3, even in the felonies, 3 years, dude.
That's insane,
You
dude.
get like 15 in Florida, like right out of the rip for one image. You're done. You're done.
I've never seen any search warrants in when I was with the SWAT team that weren't FBI for child porn. Oh, it's for CP.
Well.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
There goes.
That's insane.
There goes this episode.
Like we talked. Where did I talk? Oh, me and Dominic talked about it last night. Like that is the unforgivable. Like you should die.
Yeah.
Like
I think we're all on
you
the
can-
same page.
You can kill somebody in like a road rage or some type of fucking crime of passion, something where you're like, damn, I probably shouldn't have done that. You can be rehabilitated. Anybody who
Do you think you
transmits
should
that
die just for possession of the material?
preemptively, yeah. Because if you are able to transmit it, look at it, and fantasize about it, you are only under your own control so long until you cross the line of actually committing a crime. We as society now have to monitor you as an offender and go, we hope, kind of like the RPO argument we were talking about, we hope they don't act it out and actually snatch up a 4-year-old and then do something crazy. So they should be gone, deleted.
But I mean, isn't it? I don't know, because
Are you going to let the defend us?
no,
Okay.
I'm curious about like how every society before us that was acceptable for men to. I mean, fucking Muslims do it to this day, don't they?
Yeah, Muslims have parties about that.
I think in some of the South,
So
I know in Hispanic culture, a young is frowned upon. Is our culture?
No.
And-
16 is
I mean-
Gucci in most Hispanic cultures.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's that. Then there's fucking guys marrying 12-year-olds, getting them pregnant, like today in today's times.
Muslims. I'll say
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I don't understand enough about the Bible, but weren't there some questionable relationships in the Bible? Different times. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure
just
about that
saying.
one. But I do know the Quran does say that the prophet got with Aisha when she was 7, then she got pregnant when she was 9. So,
But in his case, if you listen to what they said, it was child images involving abuse as well.
yeah,
That's what they said. It
So
said
there was an
abuse
act.
No, and it's still a misdemeanor. That's fucking.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Do you think they?
No, they said the images though are considered.
Someone says they do internet crimes against children search warrants all the time at the state level. Okay, that's cool.
Let me find it. Hold on. Keep talking. I want to show Tim
Yeah.
Tebow. I got a Tim Tebow video I want to show because he's a good dude.
Oh yeah, Tim Tebow did a lot of stuff about that. I was watching
Yes,
that.
hold on.
He has the
Then-
whole list of everybody
Here we go.
who's downloaded, transmitted, and searched in like all the country.
Here you
That's the one you're going to show, Mike.
Yep. Here you go. I just sent the anti-hero. This will blow your mind. Yes, this will blow your mind.
Okay, hold on.
It's in.
I got it.
Lewis is doing things. I didn't know if it's you or Lewis.
Come on,
Screens
Lewis.
are flying. Screens are flying. Things are
Throw
going
the
through the
goon
code.
tape at Lewis.
Every red dot is a unique IP address that is downloading and sharing child images and videos. Our law enforcement is so undermanned. It does not have many places, does not have the best tech. They are undermanned. There is a few people. Their job is this. It is not a lot. I feel like we think it's just over there. And
over there meaning overseas.
Overseas, we think it's Taken, Liam Neeson. We think it's all of these other things when it's not. We have so many issues that are taking place right here in our country. And I could keep going off list. We're the #1 buyer of for boys and girls around the world. We pay for the rape of boys and girls in the Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Thailand.
What do we? It keeps bleeping it out. Material,
CP, yes,
material,
yeah.
okay.
Or the #1 buyer. In peer-to-peer sharing of this information, we're 3rd worst in the world. China, Russia, US, and Italy's 4th. This is one of the worst evils in the world. And people think, well, we're not doing that. Our hearts is to get this, message out, to be able to make change and then support our law enforcement and task forces that are working on this, because there are some freaking heroes that are fighting this every single day. They do not have as good of technology most of the time as those with the goal to do evil. They just don't.
Go back to the
Do you
very
know how
beginning.
hard it is for these law enforcement officers when you wake up every day and you watch a video of an infant, of an 18-month-old, a 9-month-old, and that's one of the #1 burnout rates for law enforcement.
How do you deal and
process this? Like, you're hearing tragic stories.
You want to just watch the
Yeah,
Every red dot.
So if you look, there's blue dots. Very few. Those are actual investigative dots. So of all that going out around the nation, you can kind of see down there, there's a couple blue ones. Those are the ones they've actually investigated.
Looks like the Midwest kind of handles their own.
Yes, but that
they
is
don't walk around freely.
That's what's going on. And to say that when you categorize a misdemeanor and a guy stays out, that's what you have is continued growing red dots. If you put those people away and make an example out of them and they're gone every single time, maybe we shrink some of those red dots. But of all those red dots, the blue ones are the only ones actual law enforcement investigation, which you can't even hardly see them. They're just here and there, very, very small.
I mean, there's so much red on the right side that it's like black.
Yeah. So that's a huge problem.
That's
To make it a
New York over
misdemeanor is insane. Which leads to other crimes. If you're going to let that many people fulfill a fantasy by looking at it, when do they finally act out on it and do something that's newsworthy? Because that should be newsworthy right there.
Well, I mean, we talk about this a lot, how it's like almost like they're about to fall into the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, that's what they're pushing for. They're pushing for the
wanna be-
LGBTQ community to get that in there.
because in 20 years, I mean, look at how people looked at gays 20 years ago. That's kind of how they look at PETAs now. What are they called? They call themselves something.
No, they're
else.
called MAPs, minor attracted persons, which is fucking crazy. I'm not co-signing that.
We're acknowledging that. We're even acknowledging that they feel like they don't. As society, yes, we are acknowledged that they don't like that term. They don't like that term. So we're giving them the term MAPs now,
which is crazy. And people are pushing to make it a thing, and they're supposed to be in the community.
Well, we are a society, people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
well, liberals, definitely not us, but there are people who are pushing to get them into the LGBTQ, I guess, M now community, so that it's okay. MAPs.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're gonna put the whole thing in there. I mean, you know how they are; they just add letters.
But I will go with him. What Tebow said, because having worked in the detective division for a while, they are ridiculously under.
Oh yeah, can you imagine having to prioritize that?
What
stuff?
happens is, we have a bunch of burglaries. Pull those guys out and have them go work a detail. Come on here, and they send all these schools, and they're able to do all the chatting and all that investigation. But it is, I remember seeing the sheets of tips that would come in through IP, the IP tips that would come in. They may get to, there might be 100 of them. They may get to 2 or 3, and then the next sheet comes in next month, and then the next sheet comes in next month, and they're getting drug away for front office capers and friends of the sheriff cases and all that other garbage that goes on, and they don't ever leave that unit dedicated. And another thing, I was watching a documentary on a crazy case, and I saw that like Memphis, Tennessee had like 6,000 unprocessed rape kits, like sex assault kits that weren't even processed in CODIS yet and put into the system. So you talk about backlogging and things not getting funded. That DNA starts that chain of events that leads to convictions all over the country and other offenders being identified. And those type of cases are being brushed aside and not investigated or not even uploaded into databases due to funding. So sometimes I think our priorities are in the wrong place. But you know, Chicago will spend $10 billion in overtime for gang shootings to go process crime scenes and clean all that up. But are we underfunding in other areas where those results would lead to convictions of really, really bad people?
I just say, I mean, there needs to be, as a society, we have to punish them harder and send them back into their caves like they were 20 years ago, because kids used to be able to walk around the streets. Abduction was a very rare thing. Now you can't. I mean, we all know you can't just let your kids run around anymore.
No.
And because they feel like they can come out and be amongst us, where it's like just crime in general. You're never going to stop it. You're never going to stop evil. You're never going to stop crime. But what you do is you suppress it. That's what I remember. One of the better speeches I ever got in law enforcement when I was new is the sheriff came in and swore us in. He goes, guys, I don't expect you to end all crime. I expect you to suppress it so the taxpayers can wander freely without being harmed. And I was like, that makes sense. So you suppress it. You suppress it right into the fucking dark, disgusting caves that they live in, and you keep them there, and you let our children be able to play out. But now, as a society, it's not happening.
And isn't it crazy that technology got better, but humanity got worse?
Yeah.
Like, we have better technology now to license plate readers, cameras everywhere. You would think it would be safer, and it's actually not safer. So it's like,
we still have all these missing kids, and you're telling me with all this facial recognition, we can't spot the missing kids, but I can pick out known terrorists somewhere.
Yeah. Find a guy who stole your car, find that guy who did this, but we're not, I think it falls back to, unfortunately, they're just overlogged with persons crimes, like actual physical persons crimes and violent crimes and everything else, and they're not spending the time to identify these predators that are on the internet, and it's just grown. Like, as technology, I always say this, as technology grew, we didn't keep up with the laws, stalking laws, using, cyber stalking, all that stuff that happened as technology progressed. We didn't keep the statutes and the investigation in line with making sure we police that area. And now you have an entire dark web, you have an entire, all this going on while everything else is still going on. And those people are the most dangerous, because they're the ones that'll snatch a kid up, or who knows what. I mean, they'll
make those kids disappear.
Correct.
And we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
All right, the Finland's Minister of Defense, inserts Finnish name because I can't even pronounce that, announced that the country has lifted its ban on the import and transport of nuclear weapons, paving the way for deployments of nuclear-capable aircraft and warheads by members of NATO, including France or the United States, onto the territory of Finland as a launching point to the Middle East.
Oh, boy.
Spicy.
Oh, boy.
Spicy. So Finland used to not want any parts in that, and now Finland said, I want the smoke.
They're very neutral. They try to stay.
I forgot they were a country.
Yeah, you can go cruising.
They're still there.
They're nice.
Where's Newfoundland?
Next to the old one, I guess.
Is that like Mexico, New Mexico? Do we own Newfoundland?
No, we want to own Greenland.
Here comes the fifth grade education shining through.
Funny is the fact that Puerto Rico sucks so bad.
We're God. Just shit on Puerto Rico, randomly.
We want all the benefits to owning territory. We just don't want the responsibility.
Exactly.
Man, how did they catch a stray? We were over in Finland, and the Puerto Ricans just caught a fucking stray.
Not the Puerto Ricans. Puerto Rico. They'll be the first one to tell you. It'd be nice to be the 51st state there. It'd
Lewis
be nice.
Puerto Rican.
Can we get some of that?
What do you think, Lewis?
I don't know.
You don't have anything?
You know what's funny? He calls me dumb, and then I listen to the dumbest argument Mike's ever put out. He goes, "Lewis isn't Hispanic; he's Puerto Rican."
That's not what
yes,
this was. No.
Yes, it was. You said, "Lewis, you're not Hispanic; you're Puerto Rican." And
Puerto
Lewis
Rican.
was like, I'm Hispanic.
No, he's Puerto Rican. Be proud of your exact location is what I was getting at. He's Puerto Rican. He's not Mexican. He's not anything.
I
He's
didn't say
Puerto
he was.
Rican.
I said he was Hispanic.
All right.
Are you not white?
Also,
no, I'm Greek and Italian.
he's a Guido. He's
And
like
German.
Jersey Shore.
And German.
The good German or the bad German?
I don't know. I know my grandma was pretty rough. I can tell you that. Grandma was pretty rough. Yeah. I don't know if you'd have been allowed over.
No, I'm the new black. I run slow and I swim fast.
Well, here we
That's
are.
it, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna end the show. We can kind of do what we want. We got a meeting at 1:30. We want to get some food, so we're gonna probably bug out of here.
Oh,
Tomorrow,
yeah.
Casual Friday.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I like Casual Friday. Get a bunch of videos loaded up.
Casual Friday followed by open mic.
Oh shit, we got
always
fucking,
forget to pump open mic.
we got fucking tonight.
Oh, we got a huge. We're gonna have probably 8 to 10 people in the
Are you
studio.
serious?
Like, yeah,
Jesus.
our regular crew plus we have 2. We have peaches and cream coming,
Yeah.
and we have 2 followers, loyal 99%ers that are stopping by tonight.
Nice.
I think our pepperoni pizza is gonna be covered. What do you call it?
I don't. What do you call it? Fucking motherfucker.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
You know what you go? What can you before we? I texted Mike last night and said, "FYI, I executed Order 66. I started the big tier." Me and Mike have been batting it around for months, whether or not we agree with it, whether or not how it makes us look. We didn't want to do it. It's the only way to do it as of right now that we can get our goals achieved with connecting with some real OGs and people that are down and loyal.
You're full of
What's
shit.
the name that you gave me last night?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You saw me, Tyler. What?
Nothing.
Tyler.
Rhymes-
It wasn't Tyler Hoover.
No, it was if you put the J-
He
you
goes,
put a
I go.
J in
He
front of
goes,
it.
how much is it?
If
And
you
I
put a
said
J in
25.
front- but it wasn't J-E-W, it was Juver.
Tyler
J-O-O-V-E-R.
Juver.
Not J-E-W.
Tyler Juver.
Your profile picture has to be with a small hat.
Oh man.
All right, that's it.
Yeah. Still Hoover in Spanish. That's what
Oh,
I meant.
there you go. Yeah.
Hoover.
You were Hispanic.
Hoover.
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 Lewis doesn't speak any Spanish, so don't ask him anything about it.
Which is crazy.
All right, guys. We will see you tonight on the Counterculture Inc. network on YouTube. You need to go to Counterculture Inc. and subscribe so you get notified at 8 o'clock when we go live on the dot. Never late. If we're late, it's Mike's fault. See you tonight. See you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Casual Fridays.
Hoover.
JV team for life.